Ecstatic Bliss. Secrets to living a juicy life. Namaste and welcome to today's episode at Ecstatic Bliss, Secrets to Living a Juicy Life. And today is one of my current top favorite topics about inner union, sacred union. Maybe you also know it under the word divine union, divine masculine and divine feminine. All these words interplay together, and we will dive a little bit into it because it is, as I see, one of the most important topics of this time and upcoming time, because I've already mentioned it multiple times and you're most probably aware of it. We are on this journey of transcending and transforming and ascending into a new earth, into a new level of consciousness, a higher level of consciousness, so to say, where we actually are collectively, either unconsciously or quite consciously, working together to elevate the vibration of Earth, to shed outdated templates and outdated codes that are stored inside of it, outdated conditionings, outdated beliefs and systems, so that we actually can ascend. Yeah, for us to rise, we have to let go of the old things that still leave us in this lower vibration, in this more denser vibration, I would say. There's nothing in the way of this is good or this is bad. It's just a natural evolution of our humankind into something more evolved. So it's always like a pulsation of very, very close to this all-encompassing energy and very much away from it. So we are like pulsating from very conscious, very aware of what we actually are, what we all are, how we are interconnected, to very distant from illusion and separation. So it's like the oneness and the separation, or the consciousness and the illusion. And this topic of inner union and sacred union is so important because I see it as one key aspect to actually come into oneness consciousness. When we look back on a soul level, we are actually one. We come from this source of oneness. So even on the soul level, we are still one. But for it to experience itself, as you may remember, it's split into two poles. It's the law of polarity, that everything exists in this universe in two poles to create a dynamism, to create fluctuations. And so we actually see and feel what this is and what this is, or what this is and what this is, so that we can kind of decipher and identify and reflect and categorize and label. Everything from that comes through the law of polarity. And this law of polarity is oftentimes, it's, in a sense, we can say the deepest level of it energetically is the polarity of the masculine and feminine energy. So soul level is oneness, energetic level are two poles, which are the masculine and the feminine principle. And both poles we bear inside of us. Each person, no matter which gender, bears these two poles. If we then look even deeper on the biological gender level, obviously we just have one pole. So we have oneness, we have two poles, we have one pole, if we see it in this succession. And to have this feeling, internal feeling of wholeness, of oneness, obviously we have to merge again these two poles. They remain two poles, but they merge and somehow dance together. That is actually also the natural course of those poles. Just throughout history, humankind developed in this direction. So it was the masculine dominating the feminine, then the feminine freeing itself, but stepping into the masculine expression of the feminine. And now it's again coming back to this natural law of we want to live in harmony, we want to co-create, we want to live in a way that feels internally whole and in exchange with others as one. So it makes really, really sense for you as an invitation actually to see where are you connected and how far are you connected with your own internal masculine and feminine energies, and which one you maybe live more dominantly currently in your life, or in which life area you live them more dominantly, because usually it changes. Maybe in work-related fields you're more in your masculine energy, and maybe in family environment you're more in your feminine energy. And again, it doesn't depend which gender you identify with. And to actually access our whole potential as well, it's almost necessary to connect with both poles and to find a way that they are in a balance that feels aligned with yourself. Also, to say here, balance doesn't necessarily mean it's like equal, 50-50. It can also mean like this or like this, or it can move even. It's a dynamic process actually. Balance is not static, but it balances each other out in a way so it finds in the middle, in the sum, the balance, the internal alignment. And inner union is a terminology used to define the internal merging, the internal marriage of the masculine and the feminine as one. It's the internal alignment. Some may also know this word of hieros gamos, comes from Greek. It's a sacred marriage. It's in a way actually as if you feel the masculine and feminine are two parts inside of you. If you want to personify them, maybe even give them a name, and both come together to marry and promise each other that they respect each other, that they don't finger point, that they don't finger point each other, but they cooperate, and that you as a discerning principle on top actually, that you can choose and navigate through both when to use which energy, which pole. So inner union is a prerequisite for finding inner wholeness, inner oneness, inner harmony, inner balance, and access a way higher level of consciousness and a way higher level of your potential. And as I see it, if you are on that ascension process of the spiritual awakening journey, there comes a time you will face that inner alchemical union process anyway. So maybe because you've clicked on this video, or if you listen to it on Spotify or any other platform, you clicked on this episode and want to know more because it's already in your field. So your internal alignment is one step on your spiritual awakening journey. Maybe you can again reflect. It makes totally sense to merge, to unite both poles again to find wholeness. But inside this wholeness bubble, still both the masculine and feminine energies dance and are interactive, are dynamic. It's nothing static, obviously. It's more a process, and actually also a lifelong process probably, because there are life situations and interactions with the outside world or experiences that maybe bring something out of balance, or that you gain another perspective on it, that you shift your balance in another way. And you can always also play with it and see, okay, what happens if I'm here more in this energy or more in this energy, and how you feel about it. It's always about the feeling, your internal feeling of when am I aligned. This is the inner union, divine union inside of you. And it's divine once you actually first, because if we say we can always merge or marry those parts, but it makes more sense to first look at both poles individually and heal them in a certain degree at least. Usually we have distortions, we have conditionings, we have beliefs about the masculine and the feminine energies from our own conditioning, from our childhood, from the interactions with other people representing that energy outside of us, from ancestral karma, from lifetimes, you name it, and societal aspects. So it makes sense to first actually look at each pole individually and heal what needs to be healed, so you can access that more pure form of the essence of that energy. Yeah, oftentimes, for example, it's womb healing or hara healing if you include all people. If it comes to the feminine energy, or it's maybe healing the mother wound, the father wound, the inner child healing. These are topics always connected with it, actually, if you want to access the pure essence of an energy, of the energy of those two energies. Yeah. So you, in a way, have first, in a way, a healing journey, maybe in one direction and the other, or co-creation. Because obviously, if you heal your feminine, if you heal aspects of your feminine energy, the masculine will also heal. They always work in tandem and the other way around, obviously. And once you have a more healed version of each pole, then it makes sense to unite them. For example, in an inner union ritual. Yeah, to really have a ritual like a marriage in uniting both energies again in peace and in love. Because the base of both is unconditional love, and that happens in the heart space. That's also why this namaste position, the right hand representing the masculine energy, the left hand, the feminine energy, when you bring them together in front of your heart, is actually merging both poles in front of your heart space in love. That's one way to see the Anjali Mudra, the Namaste. Yes, and once we have that actually in place, then, because we internally shift first before that external shift can happen, then you will, first of all, become quite a magnet for what's meant to be in your life. Like a magnetic resonance from your heart will vibrate and attract what your soul wants to experience, what your soul is here to experience. Like a little bit like a manifestation technique, you can say, to align both poles inside of you, because oneness vibrates high or vibrates. I would refuse to always say high. Maybe it's vibrates in alignment with truth. And truth is non-dual, so we don't even have it's high or low. And this magnetic field will attract your higher timeline, we can say, your most aligned timeline, step by step. And from your inner union also, the next step would be the sacred union. Sacred union means the outer union, so to say, between you and another individual, another person. And also to balance the energy between you and that other person, which becomes then even more alchemy proficiency. Yeah. And most often I can say that when you align internally and become whole inside, you will obviously also attract someone who is more whole and aligned in him or herself. And then two whole people come together, and they don't have this typical codependency. They usually don't have these struggles or quarrels or finger pointing or karmic lessons to learn. They're really coming together to unite and to experience unconditional love, respect, balance, the beauty actually of connections. And also they come together to bring their gifts together and bring something out to the world. They have a shared mission. So sacred union is actually, or sacred relationships, we can also say, is a new form what we are here about to build on earth. Already some exist, obviously, but it's more and more to come. And each one of us is contributing to it by becoming first whole inside, like balancing these energies, healing your masculine and feminine energies, and then stepping into conscious relationships, 5D relationships. Yeah, 5D, it's unconditional love, it's trust, it's respect, it's higher vibration. It's you share actually on all levels same frequency, so to say, on the mental, on the emotional, on the physical, on the spiritual. So it's also a soul connection, a deep, deep soul connection, a bond that is just sacred and maybe even eternal. Yes. So by this concept of inner union and sacred union, we are about to establish new templates, so to say, like blueprints. What does it mean to be in a relationship with yourself and with others in a partnership? What are sacred partnerships? Still, they can look very different, and we have so many different concepts out there, but the baseline is always this: I'm coming from a place of wholeness and not from lack. I'm having everything inside of me, but I love to be with someone because it adds something and we have a common mission and we support each other on the spiritual journey to ascend together. Both are, in a sense, ascension partners. They are together helping each other, lifting each other up, deciphering the mysteries of life, of the universe, and yeah, go out even in the world and share what they experienced, or at least they merge their gifts and something new evolves out of it that is not in a benefit only for them, but also for the collective humanity. That's the beauty of inner union and sacred union. And maybe you can also see why I stated that inner union is a key to a fulfilled sacred or outer union. First, it's inside of you, then outside. So if you maybe come from a place of, oh, I'm longing for a partnership, then it's maybe time for you, a calling for you to first see, how can I align more to the essence of my masculine and my feminine energies, and how can I merge them back into oneness? If you're already in a connection and want to transform it into a sacred union, yeah, maybe you can also, first of all, look at yourself, obviously, but also with your partner together, see, okay, where is this disbalance between masculine and feminine energy between us even? And which values are important for us? On which levels do we already match, or where do we want more alignment? So it's always and again a process, like so many things in life. It's nothing like, okay, now I've achieved in a union. Maybe it's for a moment, yes. Maybe it's for a phase, yes. But it may come out of alignment if you don't nurture it, because your internal union, the love story inside of you, also needs watering, needs nurturing, same as a physical or like a human to human, person to person love story or a relationship. Your inner relationship also needs dedication, needs love, needs attention, a check in always and again. And I'm pretty excited that, yeah, we are on that journey, because I feel like it's time really to go back to the sacredness of love. It has been distorted over time a lot, and I'm a really romantic person, so I grew up with Disney and people like, okay, that's not true, it's just a movie, or also movie stories where you have a lot of romance. And for me, I say, why is that not true? It could be a reality. If you wanted it, you can create it. If you dream, if your soul desire is to create such a Walt Disney romantic prince and princess version of your love life, then it's perfectly fine and it's perfectly possible. And if you now say you want to start your journey, I created an audio course actually. From my own journey, I've now dived into this topic for multiple years and also, looked in different dimensions, also was teaching polarity classes offline actually here in India. And now I've created an audio course, which is self-study, self-paced course, which you find in the description box below in the link. Or also if you have the Insight Timer Premium subscription, then it's also there on my Insight Timer profile actually for free. And yes, in this course, you will dive in your masculine and feminine energies. First of all, I explain again a little bit about masculine and feminine energies, which can express in different vibrational state actually. And then there are 3 practical exercises as well, guided meditations, guided healing and embodiment practices, where you go one time in your masculine energy to heal some aspects of that woundedness of the wounded masculine. And then there is a wounded feminine healing session. And in the end, I have a wonderful inner union ritual, guided inner union ritual as an inspiration for you to hear that connection between the two, to join them together, to merge, to marry them again. So if you're interested to start your journey, I'm more than happy if you feel like doing that course, audio course, or if you have any other questions, comments, just leave them here. Or also I work one-on-one. If you have any specific things, just reach out to me, book your call, and I'm happy to journey with you wherever you are. Yes, so inner union, sacred union, divine union, that's our path. And I hope and wish you a lot of luck, not luck, actually more about discernment and consciousness, how you journey on that path, on that one phase, even in that spiritual journey, really diving into the masculine and feminine energies and into their interaction. Yes. Alrighty. We see each other next time here at Ecstatic Bliss. And until then, I wish you much love and much bliss.